In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu has congratulated the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited on the successful revitalization of the Port Harcourt Refinery. Tinubu also urged NNPCL Limited to expedite the scheduled reactivation of the second Port Harcourt Refinery and the Warri and Kaduna refineries. This is according to a press release by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, on Tuesday, made available to journalists in Abuja. Meanwhile, NNPCL has responded to misleading claims circulated in certain quarters which allege that the refinery is not producing products. The NNPC said the Old Port Harcourt Refinery is currently running at 70% of its installed capacity, with plans to ramp up to 90%. Joining me now to discuss this development is Suraj Oyewale, Chartered Accountant and Director, Fortrose Consulting. Good morning and thanks for joining me here. All right. What are the broader economic implications of the successful operation of the Port Harcourt Refinery for Nigeria's oil and gas sector?
Thanks for having me, Joe, and happy to come and discuss oil and gas matter on your station again. When the government finishes a project of that scale, I think it's something that deserves some commendation because oil supply is very, very critical to energy security in any nation. A lot of things depend on, on the fuel we all use, whether for our daily activities, whether for transportation, whether for powering of our equipment, or even for, whether at small scale, whether at large scale. So definitely anything that adds to Nigeria's energy supply is something that should be applauded. Okay. This refinery that has been put back to work is the oldest of the 4 refineries we have in Nigeria, the first and the oldest, being the refinery that was commissioned far back to 1965, even though there has been a lot of upgrades and repair work in the past. And I think government deserves some commendation for this, even though it's the smallest of all the 4 refineries, being the one that produces only 60,000, that processes only 60,000 barrels of oil per day compared to the other ones in, let's say, the bigger one in Port Harcourt that is meant to process 150,000 barrels of oil per day. So I think we have to start from somewhere. For a very long time, we've not had all these refineries working, despite the fact that people who are meant to be managing the refineries continue to earn salaries, but now we have something to start with. So I think it's a good place to start. It's something that should be commended, and let's give them the benefit of the doubt. A lot of Nigerians are skeptical about all of this, but I believe that, let's see what the government wants to do, and let's see if, and I believe that even though this one is meant to, this current production, they said it's going to, produce 1.4 million liters of PMS per day, 900,000 liters of kerosene, and about 1.5 million liters of VGO, which is diesel. I will give them benefit of the doubt. These are small numbers compared to our need as a nation, but if we compare this with what we have, with the situation of having zero production from government, zero product from government, I think it's somewhere to start.
All right, Mr. Oyewale, I know one of the very, very big question every single Nigerian is asking is, are we going to see a decline in the price of premium motor spirit now that we have 2 major refineries in one country, and hopefully the others wouldn't take time to equally come upstream? But are we going to see a reduction in the prices of premium motor spirits, especially at the filling stations?
Okay, no one can guarantee that because the dynamics are more than, just sitting down and making some postulations about, how things to work in theory. In economics, generally, when there is more supply, there is meant to be reduction in prices. So that is the natural thing that is expected to happen in standard economic theory. And so one would expect that to happen as well because, this refining, this newly, refurbished refinery is going to pump in 1.4 million liters of PMS back into the nation's supply. And I believe that everything is going to be domestically, supply the domestic market. So I would want to believe that government would also, this will transform to a reduction in the prices of PMS. I mean, we saw one of the marketers complaining that Dangote currently says at 170, naira per liter for PMS. That's the price at the wholesale level. Then at the retail level, it's going to be a little bit higher than that when we consider, the margin of the marketers. But that stands at more than 1,000 naira per liter at NNPC portal. So we expect NNPC to also reduce this now, because this is something that also the overarching NNPC, even though it has been commercialized, okay, is still the representative of Nigerian government in oil and gas industry. So their principal mandate, apart from the commercial, is to ensure that there is, availability and affordability of energy in the country. So I want to believe that with the new supply injection to the system, there should be a reduction in prices. Maybe not so significant, but I expect there to be some sort of reduction.
All right. With the Dangote refinery also starting production, which of course Nigerians are starting to benefit from, and other countries outside of Nigeria, how do you see the competitive dynamics in Nigeria's domestic fuel market evolving in the near future?
Okay, I think it's good. It's good news that we have 2 refineries up and running at the moment. The Dangote refinery, which has a capacity of 650,000 barrels of oil refining per day, and we have this refinery of this smallest, refinery of NNPC that produces, that is meant to process 6,000 barrels of oil per day. Currently produces 70,000 capacity according to the sources within NNPC, which is about 42,000. Ability to produce 42,000 of such of the 60,000 capacity. So we have a number. They have also promised that the bigger refinery, which processes 150,000 barrels of oil per day, the bigger one in Kaduna and the one in Warri are also going to come on stream by anytime from now. And we also have a situation in which we have other refineries that are also currently under construction. We have the Bola refinery in Akwa Ibom State by Abdulsamad Rabiu and his Bola group. So these are good news for our downstream sector, because when all of this come on stream, we expect to see more competitive supply. And the general principle of economics is that when we have good supply, when we have good competition, then generally prices will go down. So I want to believe that it's good news that all these refineries are coming on stream. Each of them has restarted production, and at the end of the day, maybe it might not be immediate, because we're talking about the 6,000 refinery capacity refinery being started again. The bigger ones, they have also promised to, that they're going to come on board anytime from now. So I would expect all of this to translate to reduction in prices and availability of supply, and less exposure to FX. Of course, we still have exposure to the foreign exchange, because the crude, which is the main feedstock of all of these products, is still traded in international market. It's still traded in dollar. So we're still going to be exposed to the the FX component of all of these. But overall, competition will bring down the prices, no matter how insignificant in the short term.
I'm sure every Nigerian is looking forward to hear that the price has indeed dropped. Thank you so much, Suraj Oyewale, for joining us, Chartered Accountant and Director, Fortrose Consulting. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Joe.